Hey, this is Chris Grattan, and I get to help thousands of people build wealth through buying and selling real estate. And today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite cheesy topics. My kids always roll their eyes when they hear me talk cheesiness, but here it is. What's the difference between a renovation of a house and a rentovation of a house? Renovation versus renovation. So let's go. Boom. All right. So a renovation of a house is when you are completely gutting a property, you're making it pretty to put it on the market and get the most money for a property. A renovation is when you are getting a property ready for a rental, right? And so the biggest area you'll see is in like a high dollar area. So we do some business in DC. And so you'll see in DC some of these, $1 million condos. If you do, what an LVP, a luxury vinyl plank floor in DC, it'll last for a long time. It's great. If you do a wood floor, it's super expensive. I mean, you're talking, especially on the higher end area, you're talking maybe 3 to 4 times the cost. And maybe it'll last a little bit longer, but it's definitely not worth it because you're going to have to sand and stain that floor. So it's no good. So with that said, what are the renovation things that you should look at? The cheapest option for flooring was carpet. With that said, I put in carpet in my first rental and I replaced it 4 times. And on the 4th replacement, I was like, this is done. I am done replacing this. And so I went out, I got some LVP. It cost about 25% more than carpet, but I have now replaced it in over a decade since I've had that. Now think about that. I spent 25% more, but in just a couple of years, I replaced the carpet 4 times. So where you win over time, the LVP wins every single time. Don't put in carpet if you can't. I was meeting with a friend today who is thinking about putting a property on the market and asked me about carpet. I'll tell you what, there are certain places that carpet will be okay in bedrooms or whatever, but anywhere in a rental, you can put LVP, put the LVP down. It'll last a long time. It is great. The second thing you should look at is cabinets, right? If you have cabinets in a property, if you are looking to renovate, then you'll likely take out old cabinets, the part of the port cabinets, and like kind of that press the wood down, take those out and put in, bigger ones, maybe like 42-inch cabinets or definitely different. Serious talking to us. That's what serious about it. But you find those double-decker cabinets, all the other stuff for renovations, that's really great for renovation. I'll tell you what, you get those oak cabinets, the 36-inch cabinets, just paint those puppies, right? It's not that big of a deal. They're all on some new hardware, and it's great, and brushed nickel was a really good color for hardware, but now it's a little bit out, just like the old bronze was out. So you'll see like a polished bronze, you can see a black, some of these other colors are in right now. Those will change over time, but it gives a feel that the property has recently been updated. So anybody that comes in for a rental will say, okay, this is well loved, it's taken care of. A fresh coat of paint goes a long, long, long way, right? So you can put a fresh coat of paint down, make it look great. Whenever you have tenants come in though, just make sure that you have one rule with them is that they're allowed to paint, but they have to get any color approved by you, and never let dark colors get on the walls. Like a dark red, under the dark blue on my own wall, but it would take about 3 or 4 coats in order to get through that dark blue on a wall, right? So or black or any of these like crazy vibrant colors. You do not want them to do that unless they promise that they are going to repaint and also raise the security deposit for it. Next, if you had a rental property coming, we've already talked about the flooring, right? One of the other pieces that you can look at is a engineered wood versus a regular hardwood. So that's an option in certain floors. And what an engineered wood is, it's a plywood bottom with actual real wood on top. And usually it's too thin to be able to refinish, so you can't sand and stain. Whereas a normal hardwood, if people are walking on it, attractive to it, get to the polyurethane, You can sand it, you can stain it, and then you can repolyurethane, and you got, the floor looks as good as new. So that's really, really a powerful tool. Next, your bathrooms. In a really high-end bathroom, if you're renovating, you might want to look at like a marble or porcelain, right? So porcelain breaks easily, so you definitely don't want that in a renovation. Marble is super porous. So we redid our bathroom in our old house, and I still remember my wife, we have this jacuzzi bathtub. My wife had a candle out that she loved to burn. She took a bath, right? And so with it, that candle sat on the marble, and then when we moved it, all the candle leached into the marble because it's super porous. You see, apparently in France, you'll see a lot of marble countertops on the kitchen, and people will spill wine everywhere, and that's part of the character of it. But if you spill wine or marble, it doesn't come up. It's done. That is it. So you better spill a lot of wine and make it a piece of art. We had to change to a ceramic toothbrush holder on our aluminum because it was starting to leach in the little circle because we had a steel toothbrush holder, and it was creating circles, rings up on the marble. So marble looks it's probably one of the most beautiful looking stones out there, but you cannot do that if you want to take care of it and you want it to look good for a long time. You don't want marble, so you look for quartz or granite or something else on that front. So that's part, again, of a renovation. You want to put that up on the market, it will sell because they are sweet looking. But if you want a renovation, man, you want something that you're not going to be having to replace, you're not going to be looking at it and having new people come in and say, man, what did these tenants do here? So those are some of the big keys that you're looking at in a renovation versus renovation. Renovation, you're looking at ROI over time. Renovation, you're looking to just get the highest dollar when you sell the market. So with that said, anytime you buy a property, you need to think exit strategy. What do I do? Renovate or rentovate? That is the key. So if you have any questions, any questions about what we should do with the property, put in the comments. We'll answer. We'll address it on another video. Until next time, hit like, hit subscribe, be all over this, and we would love to help you crush it in your business. Go and get it. Boom.